Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about my pull plans for some of the banners that was announced during the community live stream. Now there are some banners that we are going to be getting, but we have no idea what they are going to be. But I will go ahead and take a wild guess as to what it may potentially be, but I will not go like in depth as I am going to do. Well, not really in depth, but I'm not going to be going over what some of these characters that I think may be dropping for those banners. I'm not going to go over like the reworks, any new weapons, so on and so forth. I would rather wait until we get closer and closer to some of these dates, so that way hopefully we may or may not have an idea as to what it could be, and I can release a proper Shuju pull video for those specific banners on those dates. So bear with me on that, but I will go ahead and briefly mention what I think may be dropping for those specific banner dates. But yeah guys, let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be. If you're going to be pulling for any of these characters, who are you going to be skipping on? Are you still undecided on some of these characters? Feel free to let me know. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. Rosa, who's going to be getting her rework, her FR, and her BT weapon. So, when it comes to reworks, Rosa's skill 1 is going to deal 6 HP attacks with 50% splash damage 2 times, and she recovers Brave based on 50% of the HP damage dealt in between HP attacks. Her skill 2 now extends the duration of active buffs by 1 turn. This is going to be really good, especially for those who decided to work on the blue crystal characters. Rosa's skill 2 is going to be a very good FR charging ability, because that way you are not going to lose any of your buffs that are currently active on Rosa. So that is a really good thing that'll help you out as well, because you'll be charging a gauge, so on and so forth. So it's a really good use. Her EX ability, the passive for her EX ability, she now gains an 80% Brave damage up, 40% stolen and gained max Brave overflow up. Her EX ability now deals 6 HP attacks with 50% splash damage after each HP attack, and does recover 50% Brave based on the HP damage dealt in between HP attacks. Her EX buff now provides her with a 20% HP damage up. When it comes to her LD ability, so it now allows for 180% gain max Brave overflow, deals an AoE split HP attack 6 times, and then it also allows for 250% stolen max Brave overflow, and she does recover 50% Brave based on the HP damage dealt in between HP attacks. Her aim ability, which is a changed Brave command, it is a guaranteed hit, and it now deals 8 HP attacks in total. That is a very good amount of HP attacks, especially because you are more than likely going to be spamming this onto said target every single time, because I mean it's the most HP attacks that she does offer within her kit. It does also recover 50% Brave to the party based on the HP damage dealt, and also increases their EX recast gauge by 20, or it charges up the EX recast gauge by 20%. So yeah, her aim ability just became destructive in a way, because previously it only used to do 1 HP attack. The buff, her LD buff, she actually now starts off with that specific buff for 6 turns, which is great. So that way you don't have to immediately use her LD ability. Now, when it comes to her FR, so Lulu is going to be her partner. It grants 10 turns of her Rosa's prayer, and it also grants the re-raise buff to the party for 10 turns. Now, when it comes to the force conditions, a 45% increase while the HP is greater than or equal to 100% after using an ability, and a 30% increase whenever the party has over 10 buffs. Very easy conditions to be able to meet, so you roughly get between a 75 to 80% increase, just depending, or maybe even higher, just depending on which FR Echo you are going to be using, so on and so forth, which abilities, etc, etc. Now, when we take a look at her BT, So her BT basically grants her a follow-up attack, and her BT effect lasts for 8 turns. So after her own turn, it does trigger a follow-up attack. So and that follow-up attack now deals an AoE, or not that it now deals, it deals an AoE full HP attack 3 times. So yeah, it triggers the Holy Blade, the follow-up at the start of the next turn after the enemy reaction. So yeah, technically it's still like it's a follow-up attack for Rosa pretty much. When it comes to the party will receive a 50% attack up, 20% brave damage cap up, 20% HP damage up, 30% HP damage cap up, a 20% max HP overflow up, and a 50% brave gains up. So Rosa definitely gets like pretty much like gets more HP dumps. She gets more party ores within her kit. Like, I mean, like previously she used to provide a very good amount of party ores. It just depends on like how things are going and so on and so forth. Like Rosa's prayer, while the individual's HP is greater than or equal to 80%, provides the party with 50% initial brave up, max brave up, so that would actually be really good for Astos, a 50% attack up, and that's it. But if you are less than or equal to 50% of their max HP, then they are going to be gaining a 50% initial brave up, 50% max brave up, and a 50% attack up. So regardless of which way that you go, you are still going to get those lovely party auras. So in general though, she does provide a very good amount of party ores, which is great. I mean, like that's really like in the past, pretty much like all that you would really use Rosa for was to either take advantage of her re-raise ability, which is whenever somebody like would get knocked out on the field, then that buff would activate and they come back to life. It's either that or you would take advantage of the healing and the party auras that she provides. So for me myself, I talked about this on the stream, but like Rosa I didn't use too often just because I had other support auras that I currently had and I felt comfortable enough, even though I did pull for her BT and I did like the damage output that she did offer, but I just didn't really use her that much, or I really just didn't give her a chance to be able to shine. She's not bad whatsoever, especially if you are wanting a strong support character. Then Rosa, with the BT and the F1 that she's going to be getting, is going to be a very nice add-on to future team comps. So, like if you like some of the effects that I have mentioned so far, then Rosa would not be a bad pickup whatsoever. For me myself, I'm undecided. I really am, because like after Rosa's release, like I said, I had other support units that I was using more often, but of course on a global side, because things are changing with the events and whatnot, like it's kind of like hard to say like if like I would actually need Rosa or not. So I'm still very much undecided, but like her damage output, the ores, they are very good, especially that aim. Like the aim got a big damage increase, which is what she needed. Like in general, she definitely needed that damage increase. So and she definitely got that. So I'm still undecided on what I want to do. Like if I want to pull for Rosa or not, if I want to give her a bigger opportunity for her to shine on my global account, I'm still not 100% sure on what exactly I want to do. But Rosa, very good support character, very strong auras, very good damage output. Definitely cannot go wrong with picking her up if you are needing a support character. Next up we have Dorgann and Bartz. So we're gonna start off with Dorgann. So Dorgann, he does get a rework and he does get his brand new BT. So when it comes to his EX, basically the buff that he gets from his EX ability now gives him a 20% HP damage up. When it comes to his LD buff, it now allows for 30% stolen max wave overflow up, and that's pretty much about it. So he got a very tiny rework, and he honestly didn't really need too much, just because like I mean with how Dorgann like performs and whatnot, like the most that you are going to be taking advantage of when it comes to Dorgann is going to be with his follow-up attacks. When it comes to his BT though, so his BT lasts for 8 turns. And basically what this does is that it pretty much makes it like much easier for Dorgann to be able to break the enemy. So basically, like it'll make the enemies brave, like basically it'll allow the enemy to gain a very little amount of brave, making it easier for Dorgann to be able to trigger his follow-up attacks. That's pretty much like how his BT effect works. So it also provides the party with Wind Enchant, Brave damage up, HP damage up, Brave damage cap up, and HP damage cap up. So really, like this BT effect for Dorgann, it's just basically just going to trigger his follow-up attacks even more, and that's basically it. Like there's really like nothing too big of a change when it comes to Dorgann. So for me myself, Dorgann is another character that I am still very much undecided on. Not because he's bad or anything like that, but it's a very similar reason with how I feel, how I treated Rosa on JP, because I didn't really give them too much of a chance. But like I still see Dorgann used here and there, and especially like if you are wanting to pair him up with like Iris, with Sephiroth, basically like characters that is able to work around with his follow-ups and everything. You are wanting to trigger his follow-ups more and more and more, and if you are a fan of that, then Dorgann picking up his BT would actually not be a bad thing whatsoever. Now when it comes to Bartz, Bartz did get a bigger rework compared to what Dad actually got. So when it comes to his skill 1, his double hand now deals 6 HP attacks with 50% splash damage 2 times. The same goes for the plus version. When it comes to his skill 2, his missile attack now deals 6 HP attacks, and the same thing goes for his plus version. When it comes to his EX ability, it now deals 5 HP attacks with 50% splash damage after each HP attack, and it also allows it to recover 50% brave based on the HP damage dealt in between HP attacks. When it comes to his LD, whenever you use his LD, it now actually recovers 1 use of his skill 1. And I do believe something else got messed with, but I am not entirely sure. But yeah, so his LD ability did get reworked, and I do believe there was something else that also got messed with. I think that there was one of his buffs, and I forget which one it was, but there was a buff that now allows him to grant Wind Enchant outside of his BT effect, and I do believe that is his EX ability. So his EX buff, World Traveler, so I missed that part. But yeah, so his EX buff now provides the party with a 20% Wind Enchant and 20% HP damage, which is a bit of an odd change per se, because like when we take a look at his BT effect, so his BT effect gains more brave potency, and then in general, the only thing that got messed with was the fact that they gave the party a 30% HP damage cap increase, and that's about it. Like there's not really any like bigger changes, and I don't know if they decided to hold back on Bartz, and I really don't know why, but I just feel like Bartz rework was mid. Like it really wasn't all that in my opinion. So I mean, but that's just me, and I think a lot of players do agree that Bartz's changes and everything that he got was not really the best in our opinion. So when it comes to his FR, Squall is going to be his partner. It reduces the enemy's brave by 100% of individuals' current brave, and it increases the party's brave by 100% of own max brave. It deals an AoE splits HP attack 4 times. Now, when it comes to the force conditions, a 45% increase whenever a teammate selects a wind ability. Bartz is able to provide Wind Enchant, so that's not going to be an issue. And a 30% increase whenever the party deals weakness damage. So pretty much just use, as long as they have like wind, what was it? Wind resist down, like a wind resist down debuff inflicted onto them, then they are going to hit for weakness damage. So yeah, I'm gonna be straight up honest, Bartz is not all that. Bartz is pretty doo-doo, and I feel like they could have done like a whole lot more with his changes, but yeah, Bartz is not really worth it in my opinion. Like, he's not even worth the chase. For those who have his BT, I mean, like, if you want to pick up his FR, you can, but like, you know, just based on what you see right here, you're not really getting much of a, yeah, you're not really getting much of a change when it comes to his skills. Like, there's nothing really anything special about it. So, like, yeah, Bartz is going to be an easy skip for me just because, like, I picked up his FR, but I've only used him once, and that's about it. Next up, we're going to talk about Setzer, who's going to be getting a rework his FR and his BT. So let's take a look at the rework before we jump into the weapons. So when it comes to his skill 1, it now deals an AoE full HP attack 5 times. His skill 2 now increases Brave by 50% of own max Brave. It still deals the same HP attacks, so it deals 6 HP attacks with 50% splash damage at the end, but it now recovers 50% Brave based on the HP damage dealt in between HP attacks. When it comes to his EX ability, they increase the amount of stolen max Brave overflow by 250%. Also, when it comes to his Blackjack buff, the Brave regen by 150% of initial Brave, and they also added in a 30% HP damage up. His LD ability now deals an AoE full HP attack 7 times. And then when it comes to his fixed dice buff, it now provides the party with a 20% Brave gains up. And I think that's the only one out of that. Now, if you take a look at his FR, so Barrett is going to be his FR partner. It grants the fixed dice buff to himself for 12 turns, and for the party, it's gonna be lasting for 6 turns. It deals an AoE split HP attack 4 times. Now, when it comes to the the force condition. So while it is active and you are inflicting or attacking an enemy afflicted with break, the party gains a 50% HP damage up and 50% HP damage cap up. That's really good. When it comes to the conditions, a 40% increase whenever the party deals 9999 or more Brave damage with 1 hit, and a 30% increase whenever a turn passes with the enemy being broken or at 0 Brave. So remember, with his LD buff that he provides to the party, basically makes it so that you have a 70% chance to be able to hit for capped Brave damage, so the rainbow numbers. And then the 30%, or the second FR condition, he inflicts the freeze debuff, which prevents the enemy from gaining any type of Brave. So yeah, Setzer basically helps you out with both of those conditions, so you roughly get about a 70 to 75% increase on the force time. Now, the biggest thing about why I like Setzer, and I'll explain as to why I like him in general as a character, is going to be with his BT effect. So his BT effect. So there is a chance where you can get as low as 6 turns up to 12 turns of his BT effect. It is random. Every single time that you hit his BT effect, or if you go into the BT phase and then afterwards you are done with whatever you're doing, the BT effect, it's basically like a randomizer with his BT effect. So it could be 7 turns, it could be 10 turns, it could be just the lowest being at 6 turns. But this BT effect also makes it so that you have a 70% chance to deal max HP damage during the HP attack, meaning it's basically Quina's BT effect, except that you have a 70% chance of hitting the highest amount of HP damage that you're able to deal. It also grants the party with a 20% Brave damage cap up and 30% HP damage cap up. Now, the reason why I like Setzer is because not only does, even though I have to play with a little bit of RNG, the reason why I like Setzer is because he basically helps me in not only giving me a 70% chance of being able to cap on HP damage, but also the same goes whenever you are dealing Brave damage. And there are going to be situations in future Shinryu fights where having him on the field is going to be a super convenient thing, because, like, yeah, it's great to be able to hit for the highest amount of HP damage. But what happens if the enemy all of a sudden has a whole bunch of Brave? Let's say you already use whatever it is that you use to be able to block the enemy from being able to gain a whole bunch of Brave. Well, with Setzer on the field, on your team, it'll give you that possibility of hitting your capped brave damage and shaving off whatever amount of brave the enemy is about to hit you with. I like Setzer's convenience because of that, because of the fact that he's able to delay, he does battery the party as well, and he also inflicts that freeze debuff, which I use a lot as a call ability. So overall, Setzer I used a lot, like a lot. Like I may not be using him too often as of recent, but like in general, Setzer's like kit, what he does, what he provides and everything like that, I really do like, and it really does come in handy a whole lot more than what you would think that it may not, right? So yeah, for me myself, I am definitely going to be pulling for his FR and his BT again. He is one of my 2 priority must pulls for August because of what he offers within his kit. Now, next up, we have the Global First Dimensions and Transcendence Reprise. Now, this right here, we don't know exactly what new / returning BT and FR that is going to be featured in a campaign draw banner whenever this does drop. Which, by the way, there is a typo. Joshua stated where it says first free multi-draw both banners. He didn't mean to put both banners. It is only for one specific banner. But for this right here, because it is going to be one banner, at least from what we understand, I have 2 guesses as to who it may be. It could potentially be Owen, who a lot of players have been waiting on for God knows how long. And so it could be a chance that his FR and BT might drop for this campaign banner. The other character that I think that we could possibly see, actually no, there's 2 other characters that we may see. The other one that I think is going to be Cloud. Originally, like back, if you were to follow the JP timeline, technically we were supposed to have gotten Cloud's FR before Astos drop, but that didn't happen. We actually got a rerun of Jack Garland and Ruby Conte. So because of that, I do think that there is a chance as well that we could potentially see Cloud's FR being released, maybe alongside with Owen. I don't know. I mean, if they really want to be pushy on that banner, they could combine both characters onto that one banner. But I mean, hey, it's global. You never know what happens. But there's a chance that we could see Cloud's FR. The other character that I could potentially see happening, maybe, just maybe, but I do think this one has the lowest chance, would be Gobez. Gobez will be getting his rework, he would be getting his FR, but I really think that he is the character out of the 3 characters that I've mentioned that would less likely be the character for this specific campaign banner. I think that Owen is probably, I think he is more than likely going to be the banner or the character that is going to be featured on this campaign draw banner. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully we get some clues and we'll be able to find out exactly who it could potentially be, or if not, we're going to have to wait until whatever. So, but yeah, those are my 3 guesses as to who it could be for this campaign draw banner. Next up, we got Weiss, who is going to be our newest character for August. Now, this guy right here is a very strong character, and it's still very much a very strong character to this day in JP. Like, I literally used him in the Memorial Battle Stage 2 that just dropped on JP as I'm recording this video. So, Weiss, basically, like, his thing is going to be the fact that, like, he does a preemptive attack before anybody on your team uses an ability. Then on his own turn, he actually triggers a follow-up attack after he himself uses an ability. So yeah, when it comes to like additional damage that you can inflict onto the enemy, Weiss is a very, very good character for all of that. So if we take a look at his skills, so if we look at his skill 1, Twin Blade Flash, it deals 6 HP attacks. His skill 2, Heaven and Earth Creation, deals an AoE splits HP attack 4 times. When it comes to, and let me double check his buff just to make sure they are the same. His EX ability, which is very important because like you want to make sure that you keep his EX buff active, because if not, you are not going to be dealing that additional attack, that preemptive attack. So this EX ability deals an AoE full HP attack 5 times. Now the additional attack from his EX buff. So this triggers before the party turn while this is active and after own action against an enemy, and it deals 3 HP attacks with 80% splash. So it's basically, it's pretty much like full HP damage. His LD ability now deals 7 HP attacks with 50% splash damage at the end, and it does provide him with some of the buffs that you see on the screen right now. When it comes to his FR, so Caius is going to be his FR partner. It deals an AoE split HP attack 4 times. Now when it comes to the conditions are very easy, and with the amount of attacks that you are going to be getting out of Weiss, you're going to see that the percentages are going to go high, they're going to increase rather quickly. So a 5% increase whenever a teammate except for Weiss uses a melee ability, and this also includes off-turn triggers. A 20% increase whenever Weiss uses a melee ability, and this also includes off-turn triggers, and a 40% increase whenever a party member inflicts or attacks a target afflicted with Brave. Yeah, super easy conditions where you can get some decent percentages on turn, and also some good percentages off turn as well. Now when it comes to his BT effect lasts for 6 turns. Basically what this does is that the party, whenever you are dealing HP damage cap damage, it deals additional fixed HP damage based on 10% of the damage dealt. So normally when it comes to fixed HP damage, it is normally based on the total, like the highest HP damage cap that said character has. But when it comes to this is a different story. It's kind of like the complete opposite, where as long as you are hitting for the highest amount of HP damage cap that you are able to hit, you are going to deal an additional 10% of that total damage that you are going to be dealing, meaning that you can actually deal way more than whatever your total HP damage cap value is at. So you're going to be dealing much higher damage. It also makes it so that the party cannot be debuffed, and this also includes those that cannot miss debuffs. So yeah, this is a very strong BT effect to not only help help everybody on the team to be able to deal much higher damage, but at the same time, it also makes it so that you cannot get debuffed. And then of course you have your generic BTRs, which is brave damage up, brave damage cap up, HP damage up, and HP damage cap up. So yeah, Weiss is a very good character, and it's a character that I would recommend, which was actually one of my original must pulls for global players, because he is that good of a character. Like, he is a very strong character, which by the way, I will be updating that what global players should pull for here very, very soon for those who are curious, because I do need to update that because it is about 2 months old or something like that. But yeah, Weiss I am definitely pulling for once again, just because of how good of a character this guy is. Next up, we're going to talk about Reno and Vincent. Reno's going to be getting his BT, Vincent shall be getting his FR. So when it comes to Reno, so his skill 1 now deals 6 HP dumps with 50% splash damage 2 times. His skill 2 now deals 8 HP attacks in total with 50% splash at the end. His EX ability now deals an AoE full HP attack 6 times. His LD ability now deals an AoE full HP attack 5 times. And his Turk's Pride allows him to retain 30% of Brave on HP attacks, and whenever you're dealing Elemental Weakness Brave damage, gains a stolen Brave up by 60%. When it comes to his FR, some of the changes that he is going to be getting with his FR is nothing. That's pretty much about it. He is not going to be getting any changes whatsoever. His percentages and everything are pretty much going to remain the same. Now, the prize for Reno, which makes him really, really good for off-turn setups, is going to be his BT effect. So his BT effect lasts for 6 turns, and it does inflict the pyramid debuff on all enemies. Now, basically what this does is that it grants the generic BTR effects to the party, so brave damage up, brave damage cap up, HP damage up, and HP damage cap up, but it also upgrades his HP attack to Turk's combo. Now, this is the fun part. So, what this does is that it deals an AoE full HP attack 11 times. It delays the party by 2 turns, but to Reno, it delays him by 1 turn, and it will increase the EX recast gauge by 20% and inflicts the pyramid debuff on all enemies by all enemies, so for 1 turn or whenever it actually triggers. So basically what this means is that Reno becomes an excellent choice when it comes to off-turn damage. Like, if basically you are pushing your teammates away, so that way Reno is the only character on the team that will pretty much get a turn, because everybody is going to be getting pushed back every single time that you use this change HP command. And the thing is though, like, not only are you doing that, but again, you can take advantage of the off-turn damage that you can actually gain while you keep pushing your teammates back. So example, like with Reno, you can add in let's say Core, you can add in Weiss, you can add in, actually I don't know, I don't think Kane would be actually no, Kane would probably work with this as well, but in general though, like you can deal any off-turn damage dealers, and like Reno is just going to continue to delay them over and over, while Reno is the only one that is going to get a turn while this BT effect is active. So it is a very strong BT effect for strong off-turn damage. So for him, because of the fact that he is FF7, I will be pulling for him once again. But in general though, like the shenanigans that you can actually take advantage of with Reno, it's actually pretty cool, and I would recommend that you check out some gameplay, whether it be mine or anybody else's, because you're gonna see that you can do some pretty crazy things with having Reno and take advantage of his new change HP command. So for Reno, I am more than likely going to be pulling for him. Now for Vincent, the rework that he is going to be getting, so his skill 1 Deadly Beast Flare, or even the plus version. Actually no, there is a difference between the two. So it now deals 4 HP attacks, but the plus version deals splash damage 2 times at the end. When it comes to his skill 2, it also deals 4 HP attacks, but the plus version allows him to deal splash damage 2 times. His EX ability now allows him to deal 5 HP attacks with 50% splash damage after each HP attack. Also, when it comes to his implanted power buff, it grants him a 30% HP damage up, stolen brave up by 50%, and that is it. Now, when it comes to his LD ability now deals an AoE full HP attack 5 times. His follow-up also gains an additional HP dump, so now it deals 4, and that is the change for that. And then finally, his BT rework. So his BT rework now grants him a self 50% HP damage cap up, and grants the party a 30% HP damage cap up. When it comes to his FR, so Pronto is going to be his FR partner. It inflicts the debuff that you see on the screen right now. What is it? Initial Brave down, Fire Resist down, Thunder Resist down, and Attack down. When it comes to his conditions, while it is active and you have at least 1 debuff active on the enemy, the party is going to be gaining a 50% HP damage up and HP damage cap up. Now when it comes to the conditions, a 5% increase per debuff whenever a party member attacks a debuffed enemy 40% max, and a 35% increase whenever a party member deals weakness brave damage. So in general, you'll get about a 75 to 80% increase on the HP damage bonus. So Vincent, because he is FF7, I will be pulling for his FR, but in general, for those who are wondering, do you really need like Vincent? Basically, the way that I would look at it is Vincent's BT effect makes it so that the enemies are not going to be granting themselves any brave whatsoever, and also, not brave, but unable to grant any buffs. It also inflicts them with some debuff auras as well, and provides some other auras to the party as well. So with his BT effect basically makes it so that he is going to be a pain in the butt to the enemies the entire time while his BT effect is active, and it lasts for 10 turns, which is going to help him out too, because he does have some skills where it does have a little bit of a high turn rate, but not too high, but sometimes he will be jumping in a turn order, so having his BT effect at 10 turns is going to help him out a lot. But in general though, like, yeah, like with his follow-ups and everything like that, like his damage output is not that bad, but overall, in general, I would say if you already have like good debuffers, if you already have let's say Aerith with his if you have her LD and you inflict that debuff, which basically prevents them from not allowing him to grant any buffs whatsoever, then you'll be good to go. Even though there is a difference between both of them, that's the fact that this BT effect is with an aura, but with Aerith, it's being reliant on the debuff, and if that debuff gets cleansed, then, well, yeah, it allows them to grant themselves some buffs. So there's a difference between both of them there for that specific line. So in general, very good debuffer. Damage output is pretty good. I mean, more so like Vincent is probably, especially when we look at it on the global side, he's more so like that character where, like, you know, for future Deaths and Defies, Abyss, Kavas, so on and so forth. That's pretty much like where I would probably see Vincent being used the most. Or if not, against like characters that you know are going to be granting themselves buffs, and you want them to get affected by all of these negative auras, then Vincent would actually be a really good pick to put on your team. So and that way you'll be good to go on that. So for me, I will be pulling for his FR again, even if I don't see myself using him too often. Like, he's nice to have in case like you need him for what he does provide. Now, last thing I want to go over is going to be this question mark lost chapter. Now, I think that it could be either of these 4 lost chapters that we're going to take a look over here. Basically, I really feel confident that it is more than likely going to be Jill's lost chapter, but there are other lost chapters that we have to take a look at. We have Kelgar, we have Fusoya, we also have, what was it, Jesse, but I really don't think they're going to push up Jesse's lost chapter that early, just because like at this point in time, Jesse gets her force level 50. So because of that, I don't really think that it's going to be Jesse. So it could be Fusoya, it could be Kelgar, or if not, it'll definitely be Jill. I'm leaning more towards Jill for this one, just because like she has not been dropped yet. And I think most of us, or actually really a lot of us who have been waiting for Jill, more than likely I can see them actually dropping it on the 25th after this story update. So if that's the case, then I am going to wait to talk about Jill, because Jill is actually not a bad character whatsoever. Like she's actually really good for what she does with like the mechanics and all that good stuff, and even adding to the HP damage bonus as well is actually really nice, which does include having her BT required for that, so that you can get that additional HP damage bonus. But yeah, I'll talk about her more, but I do feel like she is more than likely going to be the featured character for whatever gets for that lost chapter that gets released on the 25th. But other than that though, guys, that's pretty much gonna be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know what your plans are going to be for the banners that was announced, and some of the banners that I think could be dropping for the first campaign drop banner, and then this lost chapter that is going to be happening as well. So feel free to let me know. Other than that, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.